now is the banger. What's popping in the streets, everybody? I believe, therefore I am King Sylar. Hope everybody's doing all right today. You're having a great weekend. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I know there's been a lot of changes in the Krump community, and honestly, it's always great to have a fresh perspective. So I decided to call this one an Interview with a Rookie. And we have here one of Southern's own newest rookies and uprising individuals, Nstinct.
Right.
Hey, round of applause. You know what I'm saying? So, also, as some may or may not know, this is Queen Sylar. What are you, like, 50th generation in Krump or something like that? So, you know, it is what it is. But how are we doing today, Miss Nstinct?
We're doing good. It's Saturday.
Indeed it is. I know you could be at the club, but as they say in the church, you could be anywhere, but we appreciate you being here with us.
Right.
So, but yeah, so let's jump right into it. So, how did your journey into Krump start? Like, what was the main driving force for you coming to Krump?
Okay.
Why, I guess, is the question that people always want to ask.
Why? Okay. Well, Krump, I was in Arkansas and I knew Krump then, not from seeing it, just from like YouTube, Stump the Art, things like that. So I always had like a taste for Krump. I liked how it was portrayed. I never got taught it, obviously, but it was just something that, everybody see and they're like, oh, Krump. So I the thought to learn Krump, I let go because I moved from Arkansas to Texas, you getting hip hop. So like, there was nobody around me that Krumped until I got into Dallas. Obviously, you know this, but I just randomly saw Sylar at a session and he had some moves in there and I was like, is he Krumping? So that made me ask, do you Krump? And that's literally how it all started. It was like, oh, there's an actual Krumper, somebody who can teach me what it is. So I've always been interested, just never had a resource or the opportunity to learn it. So genuinely, that's how it started. But I always, like I said, had a knack for it, or just like I resonated with that style of dance more than anything. I just didn't know how you pick it up. So, yeah.
So was it like, because is it the street of like the rawness? Because I hate to say it, but like most people, they always come in and it's always something like, what was it? Something specific. What specifically, like, was it the texture, the attitude, the aggression? Like, what was it that probably, was just like, I want this?
Yeah, probably the attitude or just what it gives off. Like, I think everybody knows Krump or desires Krump in the atmosphere because of the energy. Like, you never seen hype like you've seen Krump hype.
Right.
So like, just that feeling of being in this mass bubble and to have like all this hoorah around you was very attractive. And I always been in a performer's mindset, so you crave audience interaction or just for people to engage you while you're dancing. I've never seen any other dance style or anything that I've tried be as engaging, even as the choreo scene or anything like that. You dance and people just stare at you. So with Krump, it was like, how is it that they're invoking all of these reactions? How do I make those reactions? So it was just intriguing to watch the atmosphere. And like I said, like the only real like, oh, this is Krump was like Stump the Art. And of course they had like battle scenes. And it's like, that's fun. But I never saw like street battles unless, it was on YouTube. But I was a kid then, so I don't think I was really just searching battles with names.
Did you see Rise before?
No, I actually only saw Rise this year. Had no idea what that was. Yeah, I'm sorry. No idea what that was. Or like, I knew clowning. I knew that was a thing. I knew Tommy the Clown.
Right.
But I never knew there was an actual documentary or something that you can buy and get history from. So like I said, like Pine Bluff, Arkansas, we didn't have very much. Like, we had dancing, but no one, that wasn't a thing.
What was the main dance out there? I mean,
like party dancing, go to the skating rink, jig a little bit.
Yeah.
But we didn't have like, you're a kid, you don't go to clubs, or it's a very small town, so you don't have classes. No one's teaching you anything. You're literally just having fun with your friends.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's about it. House parties.
I've only been to Arkansas a couple of times. Shouts out to Club Cirque.
Oh.
That's one of the craziest clubs I've ever been to in my life. Like, if you don't want to get lost in there because you end up in somewhere you're not supposed to be. So, yeah. Well, all in all, welcome to Krump. So, how are you? You just rounded a year. What is it? December 16th. Mm-hmm. No, excuse me, 12th was a year. No, it's 16th. It was 16th. The 16th. How has it been so far? Like, how was your outlook whenever you were coming into it compared to where it is right now?
I think I tell everybody this, but Krump is very humbling. It's extremely humbling because like what it looks like versus how you have to learn it feels so different. I've never, because even like I said, I started more in hip hop, and that's just more of a feeling, a groove, whatever. But with Krump, there's an actual application that I didn't realize would be so mentally battling. Like this past year has just been constantly, like I told you, you think you have it, but there's more to it. Mm-hmm. So it's been an experiment, really, physically, mentally, and even like emotionally, because you have to tap in a lot. And I'm glad I recorded a lot, because to be able to compare myself month to month or just like months at a time, I'm like...
You mean I recorded a lot?
Right. Because I recorded myself. Right. But to have that is like, wow, how did your mind even wrap around just getting this stump and jab to like actually dancing with it? Right. Or even where was that turning point? So it's just been like really cool to see how you can progress in something when you commit to it. Krump is probably the first style that I'm like actually sat down, learned foundations, and it's like, okay, I have to actually practice and commit to this style of dance to get it. Hope I'm not forgetting the question, but just what my experience has been like, right?
Right. Compared to what it is right now.
So at first it was more isolating because I just didn't know how to engage people with Krump. But now I actually feel like I have like a unit. Like the South to me feels good. Not that this matters, but like I went to a PWI, so I haven't really been around Black people in a long time since I've been home. So it's been nice culturally to even just be around people that look like you, women, men, and it's been encouraging. So I've enjoyed myself, and just making friends and quote unquote family. I hope I can say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it feels close knit. So yeah, it's been a good year.
That's good. I think one of the biggest challenges that a lot of people come in that they have issues with is truly finding their identity. With other genres of dance, you kind of already are expected to have like this certain demeanor, or like, be funky, or, to be soulful, or whatever the case may be, because these other genres of dance have been around so long and they kind of came up with specific genres of music. How is your journey as far as like, has it been a progressive journey as far as like finding who you are within Krump? Or are we still figuring that out?
I feel like you hit roadblocks. Like you reach a certain point and then it's time for you to sit down and think again. Because I feel like in the beginning, Krump forces a reaction out of you. So it's like how everybody says, oh, it's the get off, or it's just that raw essence or whatever. That's natural. And then, like, you ask me, okay, Jay, well, now we got to dive deeper because you need an actual character and you need an actual persona. So it's like no other style of dance has required me to think on that and actively present it to people. I feel like I get closer and closer every time I train, every time I session. I feel like I continue to grow with it. Do I feel like I'm 100% there? No. But I know you can constantly evolve, so I don't think anybody's ever like 100% their character. But that's just because it requires so much vulnerability. Right. Vulnerability, and then to tie it into reality where people can understand. So that's where my roadblocks come in, is like getting out of this, don't you see I'm making pictures, to like, no, I'm actually holding a cup and throwing the cup out. So it's like, it's just been a switch of mine, to not be so artistic, to be more literal. So I feel like I'm getting closer to it. I don't think I'm 100% there, but that has been probably one of my hardest things because I never had, like I said, no style of dance has required this much attention in that area. Like you said, like if you do popping or things like that, they take on all of the same personas, and you're just looking for skill. Whereas krump is skill, but then it's like, how are you different from all of these krumpers? So it's just, it's different, it's exciting, but it's also hard work. So that's where I'm at.
Gotcha. So what was the, is there a creative source that you pull from? Like, I know some people, like, they, obviously Krump is known for a bunch of anime heads, cartoon heads, you know, movies, comics, whatever the case. Even just some people are unique. They completely created a persona, like out of nowhere. So, like, where do you pull from?
I think I'm going down a more persona route, rather than portraying, at least right now, something that I've seen, because I find it hard to resonate with, like, how you say, like anime, or even a specific warrior or princess, and to replicate that, probably because I am so imaginative. So it's, you know, I'm different. No, I'm just kidding. But I feel like my persona, or at least like I feel more like, I'm gonna sound stupid, but like power within, like warrior, yeah. So
I mean, that's Krump though.
I mean, that is right.
That
So
is
I feel like my persona is just, it is my name, like, and I'm just trying to further, which my name is Nstinct, but I'm trying to make that into an actual character that has tools and things that like Nstinct has. So I feel like I'm going that route, which makes it more difficult because I'm an indecisive person. So I have to actually decide and stick with it. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
So we're about midway through the process. And we always, for those that don't know, I always talk to newcomers about the learning curve. The first part of the curve where you're coming up to the curve is obviously like the foundation and stuff like that. Probably about like 40% of that curve, that's when you kind of actually start getting comfortable hopping in the session. And then like when you get to like about 60 between where it's like most tight, the curve is the most tightest, that's when like people are starting to kind of bank off the wall, so to speak. That's where like your individuality comes alive. That's when we start having conversations about character and material and stuff like that. So I think is that kind of where you're at?
That's
I think probably
literally where I'm at. Like, I'm comfortable hopping in. I'm comfortable dancing in front of people. My eyes are finally off the ground. But now it's like, well, what are we seeing? And making that active choice every single time you dance. And now it's about not getting lost in the krump or the music or just the hype, and actually like saying something. So yeah, right at that curve.
Gotcha. So what do you think is what's your biggest challenge for you right now, as far as looking at it in a technical aspect? Like, I mean, is it material? Is it character? Is it groundwork? Like, what's one particular thing that you find yourself struggling with? So I can write it down and we can practice on it.
Right. No, like if I can encompass all those things with awareness, because I feel like everything's about feeling, but I feel like I'm doing things that I'm not aware of. But like material would be something that I do want to continue to develop on, and be aware that I am doing material or gestures, more fingers, more hands, getting out of like this part of krump where things go outward. I finally started to be able to bring it here, so more body control. But now it's still about that connection from this move to this move, but there's something in between, the A, B, the B. I'm at the B. So material is definitely something I want to keep growing on. My actual persona is a big one. And groundwork, I feel like it's something I still want to develop on, because I'm not afraid of going to the ground, but I don't want that to be a freestyle every time I do it. Right. So it still goes back to the same thing, just being aware of your limitations, and that just comes with like I said, just actually engaging in how you're moving and not just freestyling, because I was a freestyler first. So that has been my hardest part, to switch into this technical mode, because freestyling doesn't always require that you know, think every single thing through. It's just about capturing the next moment to me. So
do you still have the tunnel vision a little bit, or can you actually, is it kind of like open up? Because most people, like obviously rookies, they hop in and they don't see anything, like, or they can't even hear anything. It's just like you can hear your heart pounding. You know, it's just you're trying to just simply get through the round, and really the only thing that you know becomes aware is just the screams.
Right.
So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
are you able to see now?
Yeah, I can definitely see now, and that came with being in more sessions or just being more engaged with Krump. Not as much as I would like. I'm not 100% there, but I'm definitely way better than what I was before. I find that I can start off there, but sometimes like in the middle of my round, I get lost again. Maybe I'll find myself again, but it's almost like, oh dang, what do I do next? And so then you just start doing a bunch of shit until you figure it out. But now I'm able to actually look at people while I'm dancing and like trust that I understand musicality, and you know, and now that I do focus on the music and what I'm actually hearing, that slowed me down a lot. So that has helped with not just spazzing and going out of control, because I try to stay on beat. LOL. So no, I think it's gotten a lot better. Obviously, a year and some change in, it's not where I want it to be yet, but it's better than it was before.
Okay.
I'll say.
Excellent.